Oh, we absolutely love a hijack, don't we? Welcome, Blue Believers, to another episode of the Stamford Sync, where we are syncing up with everything Chelsea FC. And what is more Chelsea FC than hijacking a player from a rival? All right, okay, I know. There's more nuance to it than this one, but let me revel. So Chelsea's propensity for hijacking transfers goes as far back as like John Obi Mikel and Iron Robin in the early 2000s, and slightly more recently than that when we hijacked Willian from Tottenham, but it doesn't always go well, does it? Because what we also did was hijack Mykhailo Mudryk from Arsenal, and that turned into a bit of a mess. So do these transfers always play out? Not always, but largely they've done pretty well. So who is it this time? Well, supposedly, according to reports, we are looking at swooping in for Eberechi Eze of Crystal Palace. Now, there are a lot of reasons why this is a really interesting potential transfer, and it's not just to see the sweet tears of Arsenal fans. Eberechi Eze looks like a real player, and if we actually go ahead and complete this transfer, there is more than just hijacking a player from Arsenal or bringing in a new player to the squad. There is actually something that narratively has been set over the last few years which might be about to be broken. So let's get into it. So as far as the Arsenal transfer goes itself, truth be told, although they might still be interested, I think their interest did cool a little bit because they were quoted 68 million, which seems to be the going rate for him at the moment. And after really splashing out on the likes of Zubamendi, Madueke, they bought that Norgard as well, didn't they? And obviously Gyökeres. I'm not sure if that one's actually happened yet, but all the news seems to be pointing towards it. So they've already spent a fair chunk of change on bringing players in, and maybe bringing in Eberechi Eze for 68 million was just one step too far for them. Now, Chelsea are still being linked with a fair few other attacking targets. I've talked about Morgan Rogers recently. There are some tentative links about Rodrigo, but the news coming from the top is that we would definitely still be interested in signing an attacker, and Eberechi Eze is a really good option for a couple of reasons. So before we get into like what he's good at and where he fits and how we did last year and stuff, there's one thing that I really want to talk about regarding this potential transfer, and it is that it shows after the last few years of literally only buying players that are like less than 25-year-old, like we're the football club version of Leonardo DiCaprio. Eberechi Eze is 26, nearly 27 years old, and what that tells you is we're not looking to buy him because we think we can sell him on to make a profit. We're buying him because we want good players in our squad now to start challenging for stuff. And that's what's got me really excited about this one more than anything, really. Eberechi Eze looks like a wicked player. He scored the winning goal that got them the FA Cup at the end of last season, dragged his team into Europe, and has garnered a lot of interest from a lot of other clubs over the last couple of years. I was actually quite disappointed when we lost out on Michael Olise to Bayern Munich, and especially looking at selling Noda Madueke now, you'd have thought maybe he actually would have been awesome for that role. But Eze has always been another player from Crystal Palace that looks absolutely brilliant, and it absolutely makes sense that he's looking to take a step up in his career, especially seeing, really unfortunately, Crystal Palace have just been demoted from the Europa League to the Conference League because of multi-club ownership. Now, I've mentioned something about this in my other videos before, but that's not what we're here for today. I promise I will do another video about that one. So who is Eberechi Eze, and why would he be a good fit for Chelsea? So Eze is a very versatile attacking midfield player. Although he did spend the majority of his time playing in the centre attack position for Crystal Palace over the last few seasons, he has featured out on the left and even as a false nine sometimes. So like a midfieldery version of João Pedro, right? He can feature in a lot of roles, and that versatility will be really useful. So supposedly the reason that we're interested in Eze is because Aston Villa are quoting 80 million for Morgan Rogers, and that is just apparently a step too far. If we can't negotiate that price down, they see Eze as a cheaper alternative that can add to and boost the squad right now. Eze got 8 goals and 8 assists in the Premier League last season, which is great for a Palace team, and it shows you that he knows where the back of the net is, and he's also really good at contributing to his team's play. So it does actually look like, from the players that we're being linked with, that last attacking player that we're going to go for, if it is the last one, is someone we would like to be versatile, right? So someone that can depth for Cole Palmer in that centre attack spot, someone that can fill in on that left wing side, but not just fill in, but be able to play solidly that left wing side as well. And I don't even think it's just about filling in. We're not going to spend 68 million on a backup. Do you know what I mean? I think the concept is have lots of good versatile players in your squad, and it gives you more options. If what you need is an amazing ball carrying dribbler, then you've got Jamie Gittins there. If they're particularly weak weak on their right side, and that's a game where maybe a Cole Palmer could feature out there, then you've got Eberechi Eze to fit in the middle. Maybe he comes in and starts over the likes of Jamie Gittins already, because obviously Jamie Gittins is very young and is moving from mostly being successful in the German league, which is very, very different. Eze's been playing in the Premier League for a few years now. He's proven, he's got that experience, so it feels more likely that he'd be able to slot straight into that left wing spot. And like I say, man, just give us some options. Do you know what I mean? We can't put too much pressure on the likes of Esteval William, for instance, to come in and just play all of the time. Being able to have Cole Palmer on the right wing or Neto on the right wing and having options for the centre attack like Eze, or being able to put him out on the left if Jamie Gittins isn't the right option. It's I see the value in it, right? But yeah, like I said, man, for me, the most important thing about this is he's not super young. He's coming into his prime, and we're not looking at him because we think we can have him for 2 years and then sell him on for a load later on. We're looking at him to add to the squad now, and that tells you that the Chelsea brass are finally starting to put challenging, success and silverware in front of their financial model. And that isn't to say that the financial model hasn't worked, right? Like, look at the likes of Cole Palmer, for instance. Do you know what I mean? He's looking absolutely amazing. Moises Caicedo, brilliant. Enzo Fernandez really coming into his own. Even with the likes of buying João Pedro, he's, you know, only 23, but he looks like he can come in and maybe even do a better job than Nicholas Jackson has. So yes, the model has worked largely, but when you don't veer outside of that model at all and look to add experience into your squad, then, you know, we're always adding young players, and it is going to make it harder if we want to make those pushes for trophies and title challenges. He just looks like a great complete player, and not only that, he's a winner. And like I said, he literally dragged his team to an FA Cup final and scored the winning goal against Man City of all teams. And don't get me wrong, I know they didn't have their best season last year, but it's still Man City, and he was still the best player on the pitch in that game. And we can do with more experience in our team, man. We can absolutely do with more experience in our team. Our oldest player, as of right now, is like Tosin Adarabioyo. Axel Disasi is like 27, but he's also potentially on his way out. So it would be good, not even just how good he is, but how experienced he is. So yeah, this one's got me excited. I would love to know what you guys think in the comments. If you're a Chelsea fan, tell me if you think Eze is the way to go. Would you rather just spend that extra chunk and get someone like Morgan Rogers? Or do you think that we should be going for someone like a Rodrigo? Because what we haven't done is bought, a super experienced first team left winger to take that spot. If we did get someone like Eze, we would be kind of filling him into that spot rather than that's what he's absolutely best at. And Jamie Gittins obviously is very young and doesn't have lots of experience and zero Premier League experience. So yeah, man, I'd absolutely love to know what you think. And while we're talking about getting involved, if you are enjoying the content and would like to see more, please do me the distinct honor of liking and sharing the video, subscribe to the channel, or just roast me in the comments, whatever gets you through your day. If I happen to have found some Arsenal fans in this video, and I hope I have, man, like, you know, I know it's a Chelsea channel, but I'd love to talk to loads of different fans. I was talking to a couple of Arsenal fans during the whole Noni Madueke stuff, where a lot of them weren't super concerned about buying him in because they thought he was going to be a good backup. And I remember one in particular said to me, if we get Eze and Rodrigo, then the league's done. So Arsenal are feeling really confident at the moment. And if you're an Arsenal fan, or if you're connected to Arsenal in any way, tell me in the comments, is this a disappointing thing for you if it happens? Would you really like to go forward for Eze because you think he'd complete your attack? Or would you rather throw the rest of the money you've got at someone like Rodrigo? Or if you just had the team that you've got right now with Gyökeres being that last signing, do you think you're prepped for a title challenge? I think the thing looking at the Chelsea team is I can't wholeheartedly go in right now and say, yeah, if we get Eze, we're on for a title challenge. Even with the rest of the guys we've still got a very young team and there's going to be a lot of change. I do feel very confident that we are going to have a much better season than last season. And it feels like if Cole Palmer can keep this form that he's found again, and João Pedro can just kind of kick on from where he started, and we move a couple of the guys out that weren't always providing as much as we would like in the likes of Noni Madueke and Nicholas Jackson, I think we're in for a really good shot of having a better season than last season. I think we could win silverware. Whether that is the Champions League or the Premier League, I don't know, but I think we'll definitely be in for a good cup run. And I think we'll go far in the Champions League. We literally just beat the Champions League holders. You know, a final's a final at the end of the day. So it's impossible to say, even the best teams in the world, right? Like, for instance, the last time we won the Champions League, we played a City team that were better than us, but we managed to win. So it's really difficult to say, yeah, we're going to win the Champions League. I think we'll have a really good crack at it. And the league's the same, do you know what I mean? It largely comes down to beating all of the teams you're expected to beat and then trying to compete with the teams that are in and around you or above you. But we finished fourth this season, and if we carry on the way that we're going, you know, Maresca's got a whole year under his belt now. Some of these players have got a couple of years together and they're starting to understand each other a bit more. I think we could really be on for something. And adding players like Eze is not gonna move the needle, right? It's not necessarily their signing that absolutely pushes us over the line, but it's about strengthening the squad depth and bringing experience in, which is so important if we're gonna have a title challenge. Tell me what you think, guys. I tried to make a bit of a clickbaity thumbnail for Arsenal fans if anyone comes across it. I do know categorically already that this isn't the same as like the Mudryk thing or the Willian thing we had with Tottenham, because Arsenal have kind of already started to call their interest in Eze just because of the price tag, and you have brought a lot of other players in. But what can I say, man? I'm a Chelsea fan, and Arsenal were doing really, really well recently, so I've got to take it where I can get it, right? But yeah, honestly, I think signings like this are exactly what we need to get on for a good season, and I would be really happy to see Eze in a Chelsea shirt for the next few seasons. I am going to wait a little bit until some of these rumours get a little bit closer, because we're hearing a lot at the moment. We're hearing about Garnacho, and we're hearing about Eze, and there's still lingering stuff about Rodrigo, and there's more stuff about Morgan Rogers, and the closer we get to some of these transfers feeling a bit more concrete, I'm going to start releasing a bit more content, really diving into the stats and really seeing how these players will enter and affect our teams, and what kind of formations we can expect, and how they are going to affect the development and the evolution of our team to try and get us towards winning silverware. But for the time being, I'm just enjoying the vibes, right? We absolutely love a hijack. Chelsea are the world champions and London is blue. So I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. Thank you very much for sticking around until the end of the video. I hope you are having a wicked day, and I will definitely be keeping my ear to the ground for more Chelsea news to get at you as soon as it arrives. I've just crossed 400 subs, and I'm not even 2 months into my YouTube journey yet. So thank you so much to everyone who's getting involved. If you're commenting on the videos, just watching them all the way through, giving us a like, telling your mates about me, whatever it is, thank you so much. And I'm loving this journey so far. So yeah, man, click the buttons, do it. Do me a favour, do your old boy Stamford Sink a favour, click those buttons and let's get me out there to more people. Nice one, guys. I'll catch up with you very, very soon. Take it easy. Peace.